especially Rosanna, because like she seemed very genuine, coming to our house and talking, just sharing our lives with each other, and she was just so wonderful and nice. I'm just like so confused how this like flipped.
Overall, this is just such a sad situation. I feel like
Oh my God, you guys. I never thought 2025 would bring us a Rosanna Pansino versus Tana Mongeau drama, and I definitely didn't expect to see Rosanna going up against Trisha Paytas either. But here we are. Trisha has responded to Rosanna's podcast where she called out Tana, and honestly, I did not see this coming. It's a total mess, so let's dive in. Who would have imagined that Joe Groffer appearing on Just Trish last month would spark so much drama that we're still discussing it weeks later? I already have 2 videos covering what's happened so far, so I won't go into too much detail, but for the sake of the storyline, let's do a quick recap. The gist is that Joy Groffa secured the rights to Escape the Night and managed to crowdfund enough to produce another episode without YouTube Red. It's been in production, and Tana was part of the cast, but no one knew until she shared a story on her podcast about a strange interaction with a crew member on set. Tana's fans connected the dots and figured out it was Escape the Night, and they also realized Rosanna was involved because of something Tana mentioned. Joey then appeared on Just Trish, upset that Tana leaked information, and he downplayed her experience. Tana later shared her full story on Just Trish, and everyone recognized how serious it was. Joey faced a lot of backlash, and eventually, Tana watched his episode and called him out on her channel after realizing how much he dismissed her experience. Joey said he would send her flowers and apologize, and it seemed like the drama was over, until Rosanna Pansino got involved. A few days ago, Rosanna posted a video titled, "Exposing Tana Mongeau's Lies About Me and Escape the Night." I already have a whole video breaking it down, so I won't go over it again, but she basically went through Tana's story frame by frame, dissecting every word. Rosanna has been receiving a lot of mixed feedback about this episode, but mostly negative. Some people believe she had every right to speak out and that she was likely telling the truth about Tana exaggerating certain aspects of her story. However, where she lost many viewers was in her comments about Tana's experience with a scare actor. It's important to note that she did say she believed Tana when she recounted what happened, but she also mentioned that it's hard to trust her when she lies about minor details. I chose to believe her then, but it makes it really difficult to trust someone not because of who they are, but because when you tell a story that includes so many exaggerations and lies, it undermines your credibility when it comes to serious matters. This kind of comment didn't need to be made publicly. If you feel that way, you could just call a friend or text it in your group chat. There was no need to share it in a YouTube video, especially knowing the backlash it would provoke. Additionally, her boyfriend's claim that he never saw anyone acting creepy towards Tana didn't sit well with many people. Typically, creepy individuals don't act that way when others are around. They tend to do it when they're alone with someone, thinking they have a better chance of getting away with it. I was right next to Tana when she interacted with several crew members multiple times, and it seemed completely normal to me. From what I observed firsthand, it suggests to me that she might be exaggerating or even lying. That's not to say that other actors didn't have their own experiences, but Tana is claiming that every interaction with the crew was strange, which simply isn't true. I think Rosanna's video went a bit too far. While she had every right to discuss how Tana recounted the story about her dad's ashes, especially when Tana posed the question of how it would feel if it were someone like Rosanna, it's important to consider the mental state of thinking. What if that were Rosanna instead of me? It was a frightening situation, and Rosanna had every reason to be upset and voice her feelings, but she should have stopped there. This wasn't her set, and she wasn't present for what happened with Tana. If everything Rosanna claims is accurate, then Joey should be the one making a video. However, let's remember that this isn't a narrative about Tana being difficult to work with. It's about a troubling situation she faced on set. If the issue was Tana being late or acting like a diva, then sure, Rosanna's video would make sense. But since that wasn't the case, her rebuttals to Tana's points seem like an attempt to undermine Tana's credibility without directly addressing the main issue. It really wasn't necessary. I can't shake the feeling that if someone spoke out about a bad experience on a Mr. Beast set involving a creepy actor, Rosanna would jump on that story, and rightly so. It wouldn't be about whether the contestant showed up hungover or had a history of exaggerating her stories. It would just be taken at face value, and none of the nuances surrounding the story would matter. Now, Tana did subtly respond to Rosanna's video, saying that instead of addressing anything, she would just post lip-syncing videos like Landon Barker does. However, the person who actually responded was Trisha Paytas. When I saw all this unfold, I definitely expected a response from Trisha, and I thought it would be similar to how she handled the whole Joey versus Tana situation. She's friends with both Joey and Tana, and you could tell she was really uncomfortable discussing that drama. But when I saw the title of this video, I was a bit confused at first. The title is Rosanna Pansino calls Tana Mongeau a liar and attacks Trisha. I thought maybe I missed a video because I don't really remember Rosanna attacking Trisha specifically. So, let's go over everything Trisha had to say about Rosanna's video. Trisha started off by saying how much she loved Rosanna and explained the depth of their friendship off camera. She prefaced her comments by saying, "I really love Rosanna. We've gotten really close, I feel, and I don't have a lot of friends. But she's someone where we know her parents, we know his parents, we know her siblings, her sister, and their kids. Their kids are friends with our kids. We're those people who just go to each other's houses for parties, and we don't have many friends like that. So when we have a party for our kids, they're there, and they always come to ours. I just felt like we had a deeper friendship. I would say that my friendship with Tana and Joey is deep, but this situation blindsided me. At that moment, I thought Trisha was just really upset about what Rosanna did to Tana in that video, which was making her react strongly. However, Trisha actually felt that some of Rosanna's comments were a direct attack on her. She admitted she hadn't watched the full video, only a few clips that were reposted. She first mentioned how difficult it was to watch what Rosanna said about Tana, noting that there was a lot of victim shaming coming from Rosanna towards Tana and Mike. They acknowledged they weren't there when things happened and that Tana was alone with a guy, yet they kept calling her a liar and dissecting her story. Tana was sharing her experience on her podcast, which is meant for entertainment, and she has the right to tell it however she wants. Trisha pointed out that Rosanna has been very vocal about how Mr. Beast's contestants were treated on set, making it feel hypocritical for her to dismiss Tana's experience just because her friend is Joey. It's especially striking coming from Rosanna, who initiated the whole Mr. Beast critique after sharing her own uncomfortable experiences on Scream Queens, where she felt she was put in compromising positions. She knows it happens, and many people criticized her for speaking out. Trisha questions why Rosanna even got involved in the situation, since she wasn't part of it initially. Why insert yourself into a podcast when you had no role in it? This brings me back to my point. Rosanna should have just addressed how Tana spoke about her dad's ashes and left it at that. Now, let's discuss the part where Trisha feels attacked. The clip that Trisha perceives as an attack is when Rosanna reacted to Tana and Trisha laughing about the story of Rosanna smoking her dad's ashes. I made a podcast about this, and the comments are filled with people saying she's lying and that I shouldn't believe her. But why do people think I would make that up? I have a text from her confirming what she was doing. In my video yesterday, I mentioned that I completely understand why Rosanna would be upset if she had told Trisha in a text what she was doing, and Trisha responded positively, only to later see her laughing with Tana about it. Tana's comments clearly hurt Rosanna, and I can see why she would be upset with Trisha for that. You could see it on Rosanna's face. It hurt her to see Trisha laugh. I really don't get why people think I would fabricate this. I have proof in the form of a text from her. She also mentioned that both Tana and Trisha have done things she doesn't understand or agree with, but she's never judged them for it. It feels like they're judging her for her actions, belittling her for doing something they wouldn't do. These ladies have done plenty of things I wouldn't do, and I've never judged them for it. That's what frustrates me. It's just so confusing, hurtful, and mean. Trisha interpreted this as Rosanna attacking her and expressed her dissatisfaction, feeling that Rosanna was twisting the situation. And she was shocked to see her feel that way when they have such a close friendship. I think Rosanna attacking me kind of made me feel some type of way because she twisted things that I said which really upset me. I believe Rosanna and I are closer privately than we are publicly. She shares personal stuff with me, and I do the same with her. We've visited each other's homes and know each other's families. Another thing that upset Trisha was Rosanna's comments about her and Hannah not wanting to go to downtown LA. I immediately say no to anything in downtown LA, even if it's my own event. I just hate it. It's so far and dangerous. Even during the day, people get robbed. It's crazy. It feels like a different world, and I really dislike it. Trisha mentioned that this comment upset her because her reluctance to go downtown stems from a traumatic experience she had in her 20s in that area. It bothers her that it seems like I'm trying to act superior just because I said I was scared to go or that I avoid downtown LA. That's a hard rule I've always had. For Rosanna to twist it and imply that I'm above going to LA is frustrating. I had a really traumatic experience in downtown LA from ages 18 to 21, with 3 violent incidents happening there. The rise in violent crime is why I feel unsafe. It seems like this situation has made Trisha reconsider her friendship with Rosanna. Moses mentioned how hard it is to picture them not being in each other's lives, and Trisha pretty much confirmed that the friendship is over. I just can't imagine that friendship ending, because we've celebrated every birthday together. But she mentioned that wasn't her intention at all, and she doesn't want to be friends with someone who would think that way. I was just laughing because I thought it was so crazy that she even texted me this. I apologize. Rosanna, if that really upset you or if you genuinely believed I was trying to make fun of you. I honestly don't even know how to apologize because if it really hurt you and you thought I was mocking you because of your dad's passing, that's just so far from what I meant. But at the same time, I feel like we are just so disconnected and don't really know each other. I don't want to be associated with someone who thinks that about me. Overall, Trisha says she feels sad because she thought they had a great off-camera friendship. She mentioned that she always supported Rosanna, even when she said quirky things about Mr. Beast, and tried to understand her perspective. So, to see Rosanna twist things she said on her podcast felt really hurtful. Rosanna has said some quirky stuff online, some pretty wild things about Mr. Beast, and every time I think, wow, that's a bold statement. But I always try to see the best in Rosanna. I believe she has her reasons. I hope this drama gets resolved for them. I guess that's the path they're on, especially Rosanna, because she seemed very genuine when she came to our house and shared her life with us. It's just so confusing how everything flipped. Overall, this situation is really sad. It feels like so many friendships have been damaged. If they had just kept everything offline and talked through their issues in person or via text, the outcome might have been very different. So far, Rosanna hasn't replied to Trisha's video, but Tana has come to Trisha's defense against Rosanna. Tana commented on a re-uploaded clip on TikTok, saying she's actually crying and still hopes they can all resolve their issues. I mentioned this in my last video, and I'll say it again. This whole situation seems like one big miscommunication. Reacting through a podcast instead of reaching out to friends who have been close for a long time is just messy. Everyone involved could have handled things much better. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this, so let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.